Welcome to another edition of the Overtime Sports Show, the podcast that brings you live or brings you local, regional, and national sports. Today we are alone, as you can see, but we're giving you all local sports today, as it's going to be a small podcast, quick podcast, sports podcast. This podcast is brought to you by, of course, Chance and Lee's Pizzeria, 1296 Delray Boulevard, 776-7656 is the number to call, as we are starting Thursday night with this podcast, and we're just going to bring you everything that happened during the week, this week, and what's going to happen next week as we get closer to, of course, each team trying to punch their ticket into the playoffs, as we see in the baseball side with Eagle Pass High and, of course, CC Win, and in the girls side, how CC Win is doing under the direction of Coach Martinez. And then we'll look at Coach Reese, Coca Reese over at the Lady Eagles. But again, we got a lot of stuff to talk about locally. We want to thank, of course, Chance for letting us come in here and, of course, give you guys all the updates of what's going on in the world of sports locally here in Eagle Pass, Texas. Now You Know Sports is here live from Chance and Lee's. And I'm solo today. Grant couldn't come by because he was busy selling cars at Hyundai of Del Rio. Mr. Nevares is busy with Vanaus. And so I'm flying solo, but it's okay because, again, we're bringing you the news, the sports news of what's happening here in Eagle Pass. Of course, we had our game on Tuesday night. Our game of the week for Tuesday night was baseball, as the Eagle Pass Eagles hosted the Laredo United Longhorns. They took care of that game 8-0, as myself and my broadcast partner Enrique Pang were there live on Tuesday night from the Polo Moncada Baseball Stadium. And that game, of course, 8-0. So they moved to 5-2, and they play Friday night, tomorrow night, over at Kruger Field in Laredo, Texas, to try and move into a second place just behind Alexander. For CC Win, they had a bit of a rain out, and they had to continue the game on Monday, I believe, if I wasn't mistaken. But they moved their record to 6-4 after their win over Hardendale 1-0. So that was a big game for them. And the big games coming up for them are going to be as big as that one, as they try and punch their ticket into the playoffs. So, again, we want to thank, of course, our friends over at Choche's Barbecue and Bar. They have the UFC 314 this Saturday, so make sure you catch them, as they're the only pay-per-view places where you can actually watch legally the pay-per-view at UFC 314. Want to thank Lima Charlie Car Wash, also Mr. Carlos de los Santos. Go visit them on 679 Medina Street. And of course, the foodie park, hottest foodie park in town, De Los Santos Foodie Park. They have a lot of events coming up because there's a lot of people that have specials coming up this weekend. There's a lot of a lot of food trucks that actually have anniversaries coming up. So make sure you guys go by there. Want to thank also Tacos Los Compadres, 256 North Pierce Street, open 7 days a week from 5 to midnight. They're located on 256 Pierce Street. Make sure you guys go get your tacos. And, of course, Choche's Barbecue, 1995 North Veterans Boulevard, Suite A. Call 335-8464. I know they're closed today because they have a special event Tuesday through Saturday from 11 to sell out. That's Choche's Barbecue. We're also going to give you the results of the area meet in track and field, as that comes to a close for some athletes. There's some athletes that are going to move forward in regionals, and we'll get you those names here in just a bit. As I was mentioning, CC Win, and we go back into softball, as they had the broadcast for them. the previous night on the 24th as they played or the 4th, excuse me, as they played Legacy here in town. They won 8-6 and are 3-10 in district play. They do have a big game tonight against McCullum. That's at McCullum. And then they come home on Saturday. It's a 4 p.m. game at the SAC as they host Southwest, the Lady Dragons of Southwest. So those games, also the 17th, which is a Thursday. We won't have a show on Thursday because we're gonna have them on Thursday at home at 7 o'clock. So that's catch that as that's our game of the week on Thursday the 17th at 7 p.m. And of course, United South, or excuse me, Southside is their last game of the season as they're closing out the season in District 29, 28 5A. For the Lady Eagles, they did beat United 13-1. Our game of the week for softball is on Friday. Tomorrow night, we will have United South and Eagle Pass, as the only thing that the Eagle Pass Lady Eagles can do is share the district title this year with Medina Valley, as they both won on each other's home field. Medina Valley lost, or Eagle Pass beat them in Medina Valley in Castroville, and Medina Valley came to Eagle Pass and beat them. So that's again, Friday night will be against United South, and it is parent night and senior night. So make sure you catch all the action on Now You Know Sports, as we're gonna have that broadcast for you guys. As we go to the 5A, we change it up here and get into track and field. We look at the area meet for 5A, and in the 1600 for 30 in the 3200. I'm sorry, in the 3200, Mr. Javier Ramirez, the senior who was a state representative in cross country, gets to go to regional, as he got second place in the 3200 meter with a 9:48.51. So he's going for that, and he's also going in the 1600 meter, as he got fourth place in that, running a 4:35.41. So those are, and in the triple jump for CC Win, we have Austin Aguilera, who won third in area and is moving on to regional. So those are the regional quarterfinals for CC Win. Over on the Eagle Pass side, we do have a young lady that qualified for area. And she will be going forward to the area meet, to the regional meet, excuse me. And that's Eileen Velasquez, who made it to a regional qualifier in the 400 meter, as she came in, and she also broke a district record in the district meet. Also, Dan Ortiz did qualify also in track and field. So 5 athletes total from both schools that are going to regionals next week, if I'm not mistaken. So kudos to them and their coaches, as they are qualifying for the next level. And of course, after that is the state meet in Austin. So looking forward to seeing if we get any more qualifiers for state. And in 6A, just to give you guys Dan Ortiz in the 800, he ran a 1:57.50, and he was just behind Medina Valley's Peyton De Felipes, as he qualifies in the 800 meter. Of course, Dan Ortiz also had success in basketball, as he was part of the varsity basketball team that made it to the playoffs. And So again, he ran a 157.50. We give you some more notables as far as in the 3,200 meter. In the 3,200 meter, Alex Alvarez, the freshman, came in eighth and ran a 9:53.81. So his season comes to an end, and also others in the area. El Laredo Alexander's Diego Peña, he ran a 9:47. He's just outside. So the only two in the 3,200 for the area as far as 6A in the district where Eagle Pass is Laredo United, Aaron Verdure, Vidauri, excuse me, and Jose Gerardo Ramirez from LBJ are going to the regional meet in the 3,200. As we look at, like I mentioned, the Eagle Pass Eagles missed it by 1:42.36 in fifth place in the 4x1 meter relay to qualify for regionals. They also missed it in the 4x2 with a minute 28:49 as they was just outside United at 1:28.23, East Central at 1:27.68, Civilo 1:27.60, and the first place in the 4x2 was Judson with 1:26.50 in the 4x2 meter relays. As we look at the other results, as we look at the results in 5A and 6A, as we look at mile split. Just getting some more results here. As I mentioned in the triple jump, 41:11 was the mark for Austin Aguilera, just behind this Henson from Seguin and Thompson from South San at 42:11 and a half. Seguin or Henson from Seguin was 42 and 2/4. So he's going the area, as I mentioned. Other notables in this for CC win, as I was trying to mention, Romina Ramirez, she qualified in the 1600 meter. 1600 meter, as she got fourth at 5:53.63 was hers. So Romina Ramirez got fourth place with a 5:53.63. So she is a qualifier for regionals in the 1600 meter. Excuse me, in the 3200 meter. That was the 1600. So the 3200 meter, she ran 12:31.20. So she was just behind Brackenridge, Eva Garza, Jennifer, Destiny Dueñez from San Antonio Jefferson, and Emerald Aguirre from Southside. She was at 11:40.18. So we look at other notables that are going from the area in long jump. Emmanuel Devante Reyes, the senior from Del Rio, 21.875 is what he jumped. So he's going to regionals. Trying to get more from this area. Dan Ortiz in the triple jump, he jumped 43 and a quarter. So he was eighth in in the triple jump. Juan Andres Flores from Del Rio pole vault, 13.6. So those are just some of the results from the track and field area. We want to thank everybody who's joined me. Like I said, I am solo today. We want to thank Eagle Pass Dental Clinic at 1606 East Garrison Street in Eagle Pass, Texas 757-1500. We want to thank all our great advertisers who are advertising with us. Nevada's Law Group, 780 East Rio Grande Street, 830-776-7003, nevadaslawgroup.com. Again, MIDA is backhoe services and septic solutions. Install your septic systems. Septic consulting services. Call for a quote. 830-325-0092 is the number to call. So, as I mentioned earlier, we were talking about the games in baseball. Let's start with Eagle Pass Eagles and what that meant for the win on Tuesday night and moving forward. Their schedule has 2 games with United South on the 15th of April, which is Tuesday, and then Thursday over in Kruger, because of course this next week is Good Friday, so nobody's going to be playing on Friday. So on Tuesday, they're going to be hosting United South. Depending on the game on Friday, they can beat alone by 2 games. Also, depending on the United South and Medina Valley score as far as Friday night. Just because on Friday night, or Tuesday night, Medina Valley beat United South. So that puts them at 4-3 for the season. For Eagle Pass, with the win, they went to 5-2. So they're ahead by a game. And understanding that the placing moving forward with these teams and jockeying for positioning in the softball side is very important moving forward, because they beat United South 4-0. So with that win from Medina Valley, that puts the United South Panthers in 3rd, just behind Eagle Pass. So it is a pivotal game for Eagle Pass to beat United and stay a game ahead or 2 games ahead. And then going into their series with Eagle Pass and United South, if they split, there can still be some, as far as them kind of jockeying for position in 2 and 3. But if they take care of business and win the 2 series, they're going to lock up, a playoff berth. And of course, with the young team that they had, kudos to Javier, or excuse me, to Jaques, the young pitcher who pitched on Tuesday. The freshman did phenomenal, allowing 3 hits only to United. Gave up 3 hits, walked a couple, and got the game to the 5th inning. Then, of course, Gavino Rangel came in and closed out the game and pitched the 6th and the 7th. So for them to have this young man, Jay Jaques, and again, helping out was big. Caleb Salinas went 2 for 3 with a run scored and an RBI. Other people on the was David Hernandez, who had a sacrifice fly RBI, also got a hit. He was 2 for 3 with 2 runs scored himself. So also a freshman coming in and doing his job for Coach Mendoza. So moving forward, like I mentioned, those are the next three big games for Eagle Pass. United on Friday, tomorrow, and then the two games against United South are very pivotal next week. On Tuesday, we're gonna have, I believe, CC Win boys, as we featured Eagle Pass High this week, so we'll feature next week. We'll feature CC Win. So CC Win softball, we'll have them this week on Saturday. Excuse me, they'll be playing at the SAC on Saturday. And then of course after that they will be playing at home against McCullum on the 17th. So we'll have them Saturday and we'll have them on the 17th. As I mentioned as far as our broadcast schedule, I was looking at the broadcast schedule for that week, for next week. So we have the Lady Eagles on Friday. We have CC Win next week, and then we have CC Win on the 17th, if I'm mistaken. Or we might just change it and go on the road and go to San Antonio, or excuse me, Laredo, to catch a game up there. We don't know. It can happen. So for CC Win, like I mentioned, the big games are these games between Southwest Legacy, McCullum, and Southwest are going to be crucial. If they can split, or if they can win two out of the next three, and then get into the last two games between John Jay, and Southside, they have a pretty good chance of making the postseason. So that's what the coach is waiting for, to see how these games coming up for them. For CC Win, girls softball, they do have a couple of games like I mentioned, and they are at home on the 12th against Southwest, which is a Saturday, it's this Saturday at 4 p.m. So we'll be doing the baseball. So, and then they have the 17th, which is at home. So CC Win softball is the 17th, and they're at home, and then they travel on the 19th to finish their season off against Southside. So two out of the four have a chance for Coach Martinez. There's an outside chance they have to win out and have some help. That's just the case. So it's the way it's kind of flowed for him. But kudos to his young team, as Maite Figueroa, the pitcher for Coach, did a tremendous job. As her stat line, she had 8 strikeouts and 3 walks in that game, in that win against Southwest Legacy. She was around the plate. She took care of and our player of the game for that one was Amaris Avila. She went 3 for 4 with 2 singles and a double, plus 2 RBIs, as they got that 8-6 win. So Avila did her job at the plate for Coach Martinez in that win against Southwest Legacy. So as we look at the 10-4 loss, excuse me, the 10-4 loss for the Mavericks, they were only able to get 4 runs manufactured in the 3rd inning. So again, it is one of those things where they if they put it together and of course win out, they'll be good for the remainder of the season. It's going to be how Key and how his young team reacts to, of course, everything that's coming up for them in these games coming up. So we will go ahead and talk to both coaches throughout the week, next week also, to get their take on what's in store and mathematically what's there for them as far as knowing and understanding that you have a chance of there's three teams that can be in the postseason for Eagle Pass High, the boys, the girls. Of course, they're going to share the district title in District 36A, and then again they will have the they would have the Lady Eagles and so those are just some of the things that we got today. We want to thank everybody who's joined me. It was a quick show for us today. As again, we just kind of brought that to into play as far as who is in and who is out. And of course, we want to congratulate the regional qualifiers that qualified for the regional meet for CC Win. The qualifiers again that qualified for in track and field is Javier Ramirez, Romina, also in the girls' side, and Austin Aguilera on Eagle Pass High, Eileen Velasquez and Dan Ortiz in the 800, and she was a regional qualifier in the 400 meter. So again, those are just some of the notes of what's going on and what happened this week. We want to thank everybody who's joined us. We, as you are listening to Now You Know Sports or watching Now You Know Sports, we're going to be busy this week and, of course, next week also. If you want to advertise for the playoffs, we do have playoff packages available. Make sure you guys call me up, 830-968-2010. We have some playoff edition of the sport. So this information right here on the bottom for advertising, call 830-968-2010 or email me at freddy77@gmail.com, and we can go ahead and give you a take on what the advertising is for the playoffs this year for softball and baseball. Again, thank you guys for joining me on another edition of the Overtime Sports Show. Like I mentioned, today was a solo day for me. We're at Chance and Lee's Pizzeria. The Chicago dog only at Chance and Lee's. Make sure you guys come check out that Chicago dog here at Chance and Lee's. Make sure you tell them that Freddie sent you. And we want to thank all the advertisers who have advertised with us. Along the way, we want to thank Nevada's Law Group, 780 East Rio Grande Street, Eagle Pass Dental Clinic, Maria's Backhoe Services, Valdez Tire Record Service, Choche's Barbecue, Lima Charlie Car Wash, excuse me. And they're at 3055 Doria Boulevard, De Los Santos Foodie Park. Of course, Tacos Los Compadres at 256 North Pierce Street, open 7 days a week from 5 to midnight. Make sure you go catch your lonches or tacos. Don't forget Sundays, they have barbacoa and menudo. That's at 256 North Pierce Street in Eagle Pass, Texas. Tacos Los Compadres. Thank you guys for joining me today as another edition of the Overtime Sports Show. It's a quick sports show. I got other stuff to take care of. Thank you guys for joining me on another edition of the Overtime Sports Show with Freddie Dea, your host on Now You Know Sports. Now you know. Have a good day. Peace out. Till next time.